Hello friends, welcome to Stock Market Week Ahead. I'm Aditya from Mostly Bearish. So last week we did an analysis on 4 stocks. We also spoke about Nifty itself. Before we look at what Nifty or the other stocks may do this week, let's review the previous week's stocks. First of all, let's start off by talking about Nifty itself. Last week we had a continuous 4-day fall followed by a 1-day recovery. This week we had only 4 trading sessions, where 3 trading sessions the prices consolidated somewhere around the 10-day exponential. The prices gapped up and there was around 1.51% upside on Nifty. So I expected that if there is no bad news or global fall, Nifty will touch 10-day exponential, which it did. Now let's take a review of the other stocks. ACC, I had updated that if ACC goes above these levels, it will test somewhere around the 10-day exponential. Mainly because Nifty did not fall more, we saw a greater upside on ACC. The next stock I spoke about was Bharti Airtel. Bharti Airtel, there was an expectation where it will reach 451. But if you see, the highs created were 447.65, and from there I also expected that it might be range bound unless these lower levels here. The lower levels here are broken. So if you see, the stock did test the lower level, but it became range bound between these two levels post that. The third stock we spoke about was Dr. Reddy. Dr. Reddy had an expectation unless these levels are taken out on closing basis. If you see, the prices were driven up, but the closing was below that. I expected that if the closing is above this, there might be more upside. And if the closing is below these levels, there might be downside where the stock tests these levels. But even Dr. Reddy is still range bound. I'll be talking about Dr. Reddy even for this week. I still have an outlook on Dr. Reddy. Make sure you watch the video till the end to understand what are the other stocks I'll be looking at for the coming week. The final stock that we spoke of was Maruti. Maruti, I expected if everything is fine and Nifty and global markets sustain, there might be an upside to Maruti. My expectation on Maruti was that these prices will be tested. On Monday itself, these prices got tested, and if you see, the Thursday, it went to a level of somewhere around 6,909 levels. So let's take a look at this week, what may happen. Do you feel the markets are going to correct more? Now we know that US presidential elections are right about the corner. Trump is tested positive for coronavirus, where he's going to be under quarantine for next 14 days. Is this going to have any kind of a drastic effect on the market? Maybe, maybe not. So we will see based on the opening. On Friday, the US markets were open. There was a fall in the US market, but there was slight recovery towards the end of it. So based on that, I expect that market may see some downside, but not a drastic one as of now. Unless I see a 1.5% fall in Nifty on a single day, I don't expect the market to fall extremely. But if that 1.5% above fall happens, there might be more downside to Nifty. This week, I'm going to be looking at 3 stocks. Before we look at the stocks, this analysis, what I do is based on different scenarios, how the markets react and how the prices are reacting towards the news or global markets itself. Do refrain from taking any positions based on my views. I speak only about different scenarios and views which I have, which I use for my analysis or my day trades as well. So let's take a look at this week and what are the expectations that I have. So first of all, let us analyze what happened in Nifty. Last week I had updated, there was a fall. On Friday there was some kind of a recovery. So the first 3 trading sessions of this week were somewhat range bound and sideways. And on Thursday, we had a gap up and a move of around 1.5% if you see this. Friday we had a holiday because of Gandhi Jayanti. My views on Nifty are right now open, mainly because of how US markets may react, plus Trump being under quarantine for 14 days, how the prices react there, plus what we see on our prices as well. But my expectation is if above these levels or above the highs that were created on Thursday, I expect that during the week, the market should test somewhere around 11,600 levels. The move may be slow. If there is any fall on closing basis below these levels here, I'll look out for some kind of news and expect markets to be around these ranges as well. So I have open views on both sides, a top side and lower side. There might be consolidation if we don't see any kind of movement. So the next stock that we are going to be looking at is Dr. Reddy. I still have an open view about Dr. Reddy, mainly because it's a range bound stock right now. The prices are between these ranges if you see. So if the consolidation is broken on top side, my top side levels are here. On closing basis, if the prices are above this, I'm expecting the price to reach somewhere around these levels here. So what I mean is, there is a consolidation, there is a breakout, there might be a retest, and then the prices go higher. The other scenario is, if there is a breakdown below these levels on closing basis. What I mean is, if the fall is somewhere around here and the closing is somewhere around here, I am expecting Dr. Reddy to reach somewhere around these levels to test, and if those are also broken, I'm expecting these levels also. The next stock I want to talk about is Hero MotoCorp. Now if you see, there is a double bottom formed and there is some kind of a break here. If the prices on closing basis are about 3,200, there are high chances it's going to create a new 52-week high and go upside from there. But if there is a breakdown below these levels, there might be some kind of a consolidation post testing these levels between these levels itself. And any price break below these levels, I'm expecting 3,000 on Hero MotoCorp. The final stock I want to review for this week is Infosys. Infosys also has created and is somewhere around the top side of the range. If IT sector does well during this week, I'm expecting Infosys to break out and reach somewhere around these levels to create a new 52-week high. But if IT sector is not doing that great, there might be a retracement from these levels where the stock moved like this. It hits these and comes back to these levels and tests the lower level here. So I have an open view on different stocks, mainly because there might be a news driven move on Nifty or global markets itself. Having an open view in stock market gives you an upper edge, mainly because you are expecting either upside movement or a downside movement, which will in long term help you understand what are the different types of positions that you can take during the change in direction of the market itself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to Mostly Bearish. Last week we did look at 4 stocks, out of it 2 of them hit our levels and went higher than that as well. 2 of them touched somewhere close to our levels and came back to be range bound. For more updates from my side, make sure you follow my Telegram channel. I'm leaving the link in description where I give out live updates. Thank you so much for watching my videos.